Guys, what's up? It's Dave, Mr. White LS1. Thanks for joining me today. It's still a warm one, but get over here and see what we can get done today. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I'll just start tackling it. There's just seems like there's so much, so just start tackling it and see what we can get done. Well, another day on this sucker. This last few days, been on it. I was working on a video last night. I was gonna wrap it up, but it was getting kind of late. So I decided that I needed to get the sheet metal back on. So I don't know. I wanted to get that one fender on, so I could get put the battery, or put all my wiring over there and stuff. So I was like, well, if I'm gonna put the fender on, I might as well put the door and the fender, since I gotta line it all up and blah blah blah. So I ended up just putting everything on. I got kind of a little bit of a gap here, but I don't know, maybe I'll try to adjust it a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see. And then I got the hood on, and it's alright, except I don't want to sit down that good right here, so I don't know, I have to look into that. And like I said, if one of you guys knows what's up with it, let me know. You old school guys, all experts. So that's it, at least I can lock the door at night and I don't have to pull the tarp off it every time. So I left the wheels off, that way I can crawl up under here and get right into the engine area. So it's one of those things, I don't really, every night I come out lately, I don't really know what I'm going to be working on. I just kind of come out and start on something and then go from there. So before I mocked everything up, if you saw the videos, if you haven't, if you look at the playlist for this truck, it starts at the beginning. I've changed my mind a couple times. I was going for a driver, and then I was going to go for a crawler, and then now I'm just kind of going for just a tow rig to tow the K10 around, so I can go to Moab and do stuff like that. So if you have questions on it or whatever, you can go back and look at those videos, and I kind of go through a lot of it. There is some high-speed stuff and some stuff that I talk about, but I'm pretty much go over the whole build. I mean, I don't think I skipped really anything. I try not to make it boring, so some stuff I kind of skip over, and then if you have questions, obviously I'll answer them. But yeah, so if you want to look back through there, I pretty much have this build. I have the K10. I kind of went pretty fast on the K10, but I do have that build as well, so you can, at least it kind of gives you a visual of what's in the truck and when I did do it and all that good stuff. So you'll know why that there's, half-ton front end in here, and then a 3/4 ton rear end in here. Like, if you watch the videos, you'll know that. I know most of my fans, or not fans, but most of my subscribers have been watching forever and they know what's going on. But if you're just joining, on this video or whatever, you can look back through my playlist on my channel, and it's got all that stuff. And yeah, so I even got videos on how to rebuild an LS engine. They were kind of my first one, so I was like afraid to talk into the camera. But I think it's hopefully getting a little bit better. So yeah, you need to stop saying so much too. But anyhow, going to pop the hood, and I don't know, maybe I'll do a little adjusting, I'm not sure, but I want to get in this engine bay area, start hooking some stuff up. I may reconsider where I'm mounting my PCM. I'm not sure yet. Let me get in there, we'll figure out what's going on. I'll put you on high speed and see what happens. Alright guys, figured since I'm taking a break, I'll get in here and talk about what I got going on. Now, when I did all the engine mock-up in the engine bay, what I decided to do was mount the PCM to the engine. I had some brackets that came up and it mounted to this ECM bracket that I made. So originally I was going to go like this into the bolts that come through heater box, HVAC box, whatever, and I kind of went away from that and moved it over there. And so when I did it over there, I had kind of loomed all my wires, you know, thinking that it was going to be up there, and a couple of them were tight, so I ended up having to loosen all this. all this was like kind of taped, and I don't know, it was kind of decent, but I had to loosen it. This black wire was like really taut, so now it should be good. I'll just retape it and loom it, and then I'll find me, you know, like I had it wrapped around there, but it'll probably have to go like this, and then I'll end up just putting some kind of mounting it to something that keeps it from, you know, pulling on the wires that go to the PCM. Yeah, I know, I wish I would have put it here in the first place. The reason why I moved it, I watched an episode of Finnegan's Garage, and he mounted a coil to his drag boat, and when he made the plate, there were some rubber isolators that went on it, and I got to thinking, I didn't think, you know, I thought the heat might be an issue, but these things can run pretty hot, so I didn't think that would be too much of an issue. I was going to build a heat shield, but then I thought all of that shaking, you know, even though the engine's shaking and everything's kind of shaking all the time, that definitely has like more of a harmonic type of shake all the time than it does here. So I decided to roll with that. I originally thought it would be kind of too heavy, but I think it's going to be fine. So that's it. I already had the holes drilled. I just had to open them up a little bit. So let me show you my deal here. So I had to try to be cool, and then I cost myself a night of working, but that's okay. I just relocated it so you can see the bracket that I made. If you hadn't seen it for a while, that's it right there. Yeah, so it ain't going nowhere. It is away from the manifold. If I do headers or anything else, it's still going to be clear. I can get my heater hoses through there. Let's see down there. So anyways, I'm going to get this harness loomed back up and build some kind of some type of tie down or something for it, just to keep everything from moving around. I don't want anything pulling on my wires. It's kind of a rat's nest. You could probably just go for being repinned and just reworking the harness, but I don't really feel like doing that, so I'm just gonna leave it right there. It's close enough to where it was at that it shouldn't be an issue. And so I fitted up the fender well. I was gonna try to do some kind of mount off the fender well, and it just decided, I was like, well, I kind of remembered that I was gonna do this in the first place, and I'm like, well, it's close enough. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna continue on. I don't know how much more I'm gonna do, but I'll at least get this harness right back up, and then yeah, so the PCM mount's done. I'll probably pull it back off and paint it and then stick it back on there, but good to go. Alright guys, before we wrap up tonight, figured I'd show you what we got going on. These trans lines hooked up here, and I don't know, I had to kind of be massaged a little bit. However, I brought my little bender out, and I don't know, laying under the truck, and I kept bending the damn things the wrong way, so I did like 4 bends in them just to get them get them right, but I kind of did. I think the main thing that was holding me up is this deal, because it pushes them out, so then you got to kind of bend the hose so that way it'll line up. But anyways, they're in. This part doesn't look that great, but then up here they kind of get a little bit better, so I'll just need to tie them up, make sure that they don't rub too much. This whole assembly is going to move together, so it's not going to, you know, rub too much. But I don't know if I like that laying against the oil pan like that. I don't know, we'll see what I do. I don't know, maybe in the future I'll just make some different lines or something for this, and some braided steel lines or something. But anyways, for right now I think they're good. So I routed the original light harness. I just kind of laid it in there. I'm going to rewire this like I did on the K10. I'm going to put some relays somewhere over here, and I don't know, maybe up there on the firewall, or maybe just over here somewhere, and make sure that I take the make it to where all the voltage isn't running through the light switch. I'll run it through relays and run it out to my lights so my lights are brighter. I'll probably end up getting the non-sealed beam to where you can actually put a bulb in there and get a little bit brighter bulbs. That's what I did on the K10, and seems to be working good. Over here I mounted my fuse panel. Yeah, so trans lines, moving the PCM, and putting my stuff here. Now I'm going to close the hood and see if hopefully it don't hit this, and going to go in and wrap it up and get you guys a video. Appreciate you guys. Take care.